When I started this project, I knew my Velociraptor would need a nice downy coat. So I walked down to the thrift store, bought a teddy bear, and disemboweled it. Its leg made a great neck. It also had nice eyes, and I thought, waste not, want not. I'll use those. They were a really dark brown, so you couldn't see the pupil very well, so I decided to make them more striking by sanding off the brown part and replacing it with a nice gold. I covered the cardboard skull with a thin layer of paper mache. I put some screws in through the bottom of the stand. Then I attached some coupling nuts. If I ever want to change the stand, it will be easy, I just have to take out the screws. I covered the base in a plastic bag to keep it looking nice. Into the coupling nuts, I put some threaded rods. Most of the structure is just made of chicken wire. I knew the legs would need a little bit of extra strength. Thankfully, I had some plaster cloth laying around. After I ran out of that, I just covered the rest of the body in paper mache. My Velociraptor was starting to look jaw-dropping. The claws are made out of Super Sculpting.
I have come this evening to speak with patience, and you will be generous enough to have won her, unless and can repaused.
The eyes from the teddy bear were just a little bit on the small side for my liking, so I decided to mix up some resin and pour it into a paint palette to make some bigger eyes. I was also playing around with the idea of giving its eyes slit pupils. I actually got really caught up thinking about this, so I decided to do some research. Turns out most living animals with slit pupils are smaller predators, like cats. You'll note that Jurassic Park's raptors have slit pupils. But I think I just wanted this Velociraptor's eyes to look like those of my little crested geckos. Now, for a lot of the things we don't know about velociraptors and their relatives, we look to modern-day birds to try to fill in the blanks. Unfortunately, modern birds all have round pupils. So I decided to watch an hour-long Your Dinosaurs Are Wrong video. And a pretty good argument was made in that video that not all unknown features need to be filled in with bird anatomy. I started to think, however, that the eyes I had made with slit pupils were a little bit too big. I got worried when I started comparing it to the sclerotic rings in the fossil of a real velociraptor skull. I agonized over this dilemma. I went as far as asking some advice from some fellow dinosaur enthusiasts I knew. They both suggested I go with the smaller eyes with the round pupils. I ended up ungratefully ignoring their advice. I made up my mind once I read about a bird called the black skimmer, which has slit pupils. I think I really just wanted to use the slit pupils once, and Velociraptor seemed like the best candidate, since it was small and hunted in low-light environments. If I ever do a larger dromaeosaur, which I'd like to, I'm definitely going to give it round pupils. I tried to reduce the eye's diameter a little bit by sanding the back and by making my own sclerotic ring with clay. Originally, I was planning to keep the finished product with its mouth closed. Eventually, I decided to give it a movable jaw, inspired by the Schleich and Papo dinosaur figures. I filled the legs with expanding foam to add stability. For some of the smaller scales, I made a texture stamp out of Sculpting. The Sculpey teeth added a little bit too much weight to the jaw to keep it closed, so I just decided to go with paper. It doesn't look great up close, but the default position of this dinosaur is to have its jaw closed, so I figured for a fun little detail I can go a little cheap with it. That Your Dinosaurs Are Wrong video also gave me a pretty good idea of where I wanted to put what sort of covering on this Velociraptor. I used the teddy bear's fur to make a downy coat on most of its body. I used real feathers on its tail, arms, and the top of its head. I got some larger turkey feathers for the tail. This project took about a month from start to finish. My wife was incredibly patient with the dinosaur bits all over the kitchen during that time. I was excited to see what plumage pattern people would like to see on this Velociraptor, so I put out some concepts for people to see. I ended up ignoring everyone's input because I was really hoping they would say the bearded vulture one looks good. I used some acrylic paint with an airbrush. This was my first time using an airbrush, but I'm really happy with it. This time, I'd like to thank the crew at Your Dinosaurs Are Wrong. If you want to learn more about dinosaurs, go give them a look. I'd also like to thank all my friends whose input I ignored. Sorry, guys. And thanks to you for watching.